Blackbeard may actually be the fourth ancient weapon. Now I know many of you might be saying, Kel, what are you talking about? But this theory actually makes sense. So we have to take into account that just like Joy Boy, Davy Jones was too erased from history. Just like Joy Boy and his power, the Nika fruit was erased from history, we have to consider that maybe alongside Davy Jones, there was a great power too that was erased from history. And I personally think this power was an ancient weapon. Yeah, I know since the beginning we've been fed that there are only 3 ancient weapons, but I wouldn't be shocked if there are actually 4. And just to be clear, I don't mean Davy Jones being like a machine or some type of actual weapon. I mean him being an ancient weapon just like Shirahoshi. Shirahoshi isn't a weapon or a tool, but she's a person that possesses major great power. With all of that being said, we know that Blackbeard is most likely the new age Davy Jones. This is the person his dad Ross looked up to, and Ross even had the same name as Davy Jones. Well, he had the same last name, Davy D. Ross. Also, if we hop in the time machine and go back a bit, remember when Marco said that Teach's body has always been different? This could further prove that Teach may in fact be an ancient weapon. I know that Jay Garcia said that Blackbeard lineage was special, but I believe Blackbeard individually is very special. So let's go with a popular fan theory that has been out there for a while. Blackbeard is some type of kraken or squid like Davy Jones being. The theory states that Blackbeard probably has 3 hearts, which is why he can eat multiple devil fruits because each heart would take up a devil fruit spot. And I know some people kind of shrugged it off, but that actually would make sense if Blackbeard is truly an ancient weapon. Although Oda rarely shows ancient weapons in the story, when we do see them, we see they possess great power. And when you think about it, one person alone with 1 devil fruit is already enough. I mean, look at Loki and Elbaf. Now just imagine Loki with 2 more devil fruits on top of that. That person would legit be a force to be reckoned with. 1 devil fruit alone can take out an entire country. Just imagine a person with 3. This is why I believe Teach is special. Not solely because of his bloodline, but because he's inherited Davy Jones' will and power. When we take a look at the Blackbeard Pirates Jolly Roger, we see 3 skulls. I know a lot of people say that these 3 skulls meant that Teach had 3 hearts or whatnot, but I think we can go a bit deeper. I think these 3 skulls represent Teach, Ross, and Davy Jones. Sort of like the Holy Trinity. The Holy Trinity represents God, Jesus, and the Holy Ghost. And it's kind of saying that they are the same person but in different forms. So this is what I believe Blackbeard's Jolly Roger is actually hinting at. It's 3 different skulls that represent the same people, but in the end they are the same person. Remember when Rock snuck into Emu's chamber and he told Emu that he'd be back? I don't think he literally meant himself, but he knows someone down the line will eventually be back. And this person will of course be Blackbeard, hence when his crew told Garcia that they wanted the world. The simple saying of Rock saying he'd be back is foreshadowing that his future son will have the same goal as him, which is taking over the world. And based on what Emu said in the Elbaf flashback, we can assume that was Davy Jones' goal too. Because remember when Emu saw Rocks in God Valley, Emu asked Rocks was he Davy Jones. I don't think Emu would just ask any random person, are they Davy Jones? This let me know that there's a connection between Rocks that ties him to Davy Jones. And most likely they had the same dream of taking over the world. So this would give Blackbeard, Rocks, and Davy Jones the same goal, which is taking over the world. Which will again support my idea of saying Blackbeard's Jolly Rogers are based on the Holy Trinity. It represents Davy Jones, Blackbeard, and Rocks all having the same goal in the end. Now before I end this video, I know it wasn't super long, but I want to say something else about Blackbeard. Can anybody in the comments let me know, have we ever seen Blackbeard drown? We've seen multiple devil fruit users drown in the series, but I cannot recall an instance that I've seen Blackbeard drown. Even in the most obvious scene where the Stripes were heading to Skypiea, then the knockup stream destroyed Blackbeard's ship. He still didn't drown during this scene. It destroyed his entire ship. Now I do know during this time period, everybody on his crew weren't devil fruit users yet. So this would leave his other non-devil fruit user crewmates to save him during that instance. But I don't know, I still think it's kind of odd that we've never seen him drown. And I think this also plays into the fact of Blackbeard being an ancient weapon or having the ancient weapon power of Davy Jones. Because we know when devil fruit users fall into the sea, they are dragged towards the bottom or they slowly descend towards the bottom. There's a reason that Blackbeard wanted an entire crew of devil fruit users knowing the risk. I don't think there really is a risk. I think that if Blackbeard is this ancient weapon I speak of, I feel like he can negate that debuff or that negative effect of having a devil fruit.